There's a growing interest in purpose-built rentals across Canada, and part of that has to do with the affordability trajectory. So I think that the purpose-built apartment community has an important role in terms of maintaining people's ability to live in the communities that they're most interested in living in and continue to participate in local community, school, and cultural affairs.
In general, I think home ownership in Canada is becoming less affordable for most Canadians. And I think having an option of more rental is a good thing for Canada. Right now, the condo stock in general has been taking up the slack for new apartment builds, but they're not, it's not a perfect correlation. The condo units are smaller, they're owned by a lot of owners, and we really need new supply of rental in the Canadian context, and I think that will help alleviate. It'll be better services to tenants, larger suites, and overall that will help the rental supply will help the Canadian market in general for ownership.
New purpose-built rental, it's only going to have a positive impact on the market. It's much needed supply. Benjamin Tile spoke earlier about just the lack of housing supply, especially in major markets like Vancouver and Toronto. And it's much needed. And I think from a purpose-built rental standpoint, it's only really going to help the industry by having more supply, having more choice for consumers, and more opportunity for developers and landlords. It's much needed and long needed, and it's great for our industry.
I think it's wonderful that we're getting a resurgence of construction in the multifamily rental unit market. It hasn't happened in 40 years. It's adding a new stock and offering tenants better product to live in. It's forcing existing owners to renew their older stock. I think it's going to cater better to people's needs, and I think it's going to be driven by community amenities, etc. And I think it's a positive reaction because we have a very tight market and very few choices for people right now.
You know, new apartment construction is probably the single largest opportunity for the development industry in Canada. Look, we've had about a 30-40 year hiatus from new apartment construction, and almost the perfect storm has occurred. Interest rates are low, cap rates have compressed, institutional demand for high quality rental apartments is high, and renter demand at both ends of the spectrum, from the millennials and from the retiring baby boomer, are approaching their peaks. So I think that the future for new apartment construction is going to be pretty strong across all the Canadian provinces and in larger centers, secondary centers, and tertiary centers.
There's a lot of demand for new rental product in the Canadian market, especially Toronto and Vancouver. And I think that people are looking for and willing to pay for new, well-built, good amenities, well-located properties. So I think new build will have a real great opportunity to see outsized returns. And there will be some impact on the older stock. The only unfortunate thing is it's so hard to get new buildings approved, and with the new rent controls, we won't see as many of them. So they may not have that big an impact at all.